Hello everyone, you're watching Newcastle United Life and Times YouTube channel. My name's Rob Britton. Today I'm joined by Paul and Len to discuss the Borussia Dortmund game tomorrow night, where it's an 8 o'clock kickoff, broadcast live, I think on BT, the old BT, TNT Sports. But before we touch on that, I just want to mention last night, myself, Paul, and then went to the Town Theatre to an event organised by Pete Graves on his book launch. This is the book here, He Had to Compete, which I'll be having a good read over the weekend. And there was a couple of special guests on stage last night. Quite a unique event. Len, do you want to take it away from here?
Yeah, I thought last night was excellent. I've seen Kevin Keegan on a couple of similar things in the past. So the first half for me, there wasn't a lot new. There was odd little bits, but I never get tired of hearing the stories that he tells. But for me, the second half was a real unique experience. Obviously, with him and Eddie Howe talking, the mutual sort of admiration they have for each other. I think Keegan perked up in that second half when he was talking. He started to talk even more passionately about Newcastle United and the fact he is enjoying being at a distance, sort of being a supporter now, and once is reluctant to get involved any more than that because he's had his time, he says, and this is Eddie Howe's time. And I think a couple of the quotes that were, really good for me were, he said, Eddie Howe, when he came on, he just, when he was offered the opportunity, he said he just had to meet King Kev. So there's admiration there from that side of things. And the funniest quote, I think, coming from Keegan, when he said, my only advice to Eddie Howe is don't sell your best player and don't stand on the steps and talk to the fans. Just shut the door. And I thought that was really quite funny. And on Keegan himself, to meet him, he was great. He was spending time with every single person who was having a photograph taken with him. And that just shows you what type of person he is. And finally, great to see Terry Mack make a cameo appearance as he often does. He's not too well at the moment, so it was really great to see him on the stage. So all told, an absolutely fantastic night, Rob. And thanks, Paul, and yourself for joining us there and arranging it, I suppose, because I didn't have a ticket originally, and I'm so pleased I went. I would have regretted it had I watched the footage. I would have regretted it had I not been there. So it was an excellent night. Thanks.
You're more than welcome, Len. Paul, what was your take on last night?
Just when you got to finally meet one of your heroes, it's just surreal, isn't it? When you like the build up beforehand, you're that excited, aren't you? And then when you get there and you're finally in that moment when you get to meet them, you're like, Jesus, what am I going to say? How do I react? But he was just so charming and he was great, wasn't he, with everybody? The way he was just cracking jokes and I thought he was brilliant. Special K, as we'll call him. The first half, obviously, he was just talking with Pete. And there was a few things I didn't sort of know, like the Les Ferdinand one, for instance, that we're after him before Andy Cole and stuff like that.
Same here.
But just the way he spoke so passionately, and when he gets behind the mic and speaks, it's just you just want to play for him, don't you? Imagine what the fans were like, the players when they were in the dressing room one. It's just great. I think it's and then the second half when Eddie Howe come out, it was just when they met. It was just, it was fantastic.
Special.
When he met him, and then I don't think Eddie could stop looking at him, could he? And then obviously when he mentioned Graham Jones, Keegan was his idol, and he had told him he was going on all day about how he was and with the city, and apparently the phone call Keegan gave him when he joined, he rang him and he just said, look, be honest with the fans and just give your best. That's all they ask of you. And I think he's doing it, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
But it was a fantastic night. And I thought Pete was a great host. I thought he did really well, and they raised a lot of money, didn't they, for charity?
Yeah, I mean, a big shout out to Pete for bringing it all together. It was tremendous, absolutely tremendous night. I've got to say, I thought Keegan looked really well. He looked smashing last night, didn't he?
He looked fit and all the way. Did?
Yeah, but it's great. It was just great to see him. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when he was going through all the stories about Killer and Bears and stuff, I was just sitting there, and you read them. You're going through all the years, aren't you? You're going way back in time, and you're like, bloody hell, and it was just, you felt like it was just, we're all going through this chapter of in the book of our lives. It was just, I loved it, mate. It was absolutely brilliant.
I think when he talks,
I thought
his impression of Ginola was fantastic, though. I love that bit. I love that.
I actually thought it was him, with the long silver hair. I thought it was Ginola. Come on.
I think when
you hear Keegan talk, I could just sit there for hours and hours and hours. And I don't know how he does it. I know he does this on a fairly regular basis, but to talk about these things that happened many, many years ago is brilliant, and it just brings it all back. And it highlighted to me really the similarities of what's going on at the club now, the speed that Keegan and Terry Mack turned Newcastle United from getting relegated to the old third division to challenging for the Premier Division. And it's just exactly what's happened with Eddie Howe. We were in a situation where just keep the club up, and then maybe in 3 or 4 years' time be challenging for winning things in various competitions. But he's, again, as Keegan did, Eddie Howe is doing it in super quick time. So the similarities are phenomenal. And the only person missing really from last night would have been Sir Bobby Robson, because if they'd been away a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, where he could have got the three of them on the stage, that would have been brilliant. Because I think almost everybody sort of saying, Kevin Keegan, Bobby Robson, and Eddie Howe are almost all put on this, on this sort of this level that where all the fans, without a doubt, think they're all sort of equivalent, really. I think with Eddie Howe, he's got a bit of Bobby Robson, a bit of Kevin Keegan, best of both worlds.
And he's only 45, isn't he?
I know.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Got 20 years ahead of him easily.
Just touching on Bobby Robson there briefly, there's no doubt in my mind, if Bobby Robson had come in when Keegan left, we would own the title.
Yeah,
I firmly believe it. I mean, I know you can't say...
Dalglish dismantled the side, didn't he? Dismantled it the season after.
I know you can't say, well, you can't say that you don't know, but I'd put 100 quid on it, no problem at all. So, yeah, excellent night had by everyone. I love that story, though, Paul, that old fella was telling me about his son. He didn't know he was coming, and his son got him a ticket for his birthday. That was a lovely story. That was really nice, Such a surprise for him to meet Keegan. Excellent. So, right, okay. We'll move on to tomorrow night, where we've got Borussia Dortmund at home. Len, how do you see this one going?
I think it'll be a close game. I think we've just got to be a little bit careful. We've had some fantastic results recently. I think it'll be a close game. I think that, obviously, as I've probably mentioned, I'm unlucky enough yet again not to have a ticket. So I'll just be watching it on the telly. Paul, do you have a ticket?
Yeah.
Secondly, do you have a spare ticket?
No.
Okay. Anyway, either way, I think it's going to be a tough game. If you do change your mind, just let anybody.
Yeah, no bother. I'll give you half of mine if you want.
No, that's pointless. I think it'll be a hard game, and I think we've just got to be careful. Just do what we do. What every time we set out on at St James's Park in a home match, providing we do that, I think we'll win the game. So really looking forward to it.
Paul, how do you see it going tomorrow?
Yeah, and we'll then, I think we've just got to watch ourselves, haven't we? Because they're still a class side, them. They're undefeated this season. But I think if we go about our business at home, we've just got to high press them again, intensity, getting their faces. Because to be honest, they've got to get something out of tomorrow's game. So that might work in our favour. They've got to get at least a point and then turn over at their place.
So when you say in our favour, you think they'll just push on and maybe leave gaps at the back, yeah?
I don't know if they'll leave gaps, but they're gonna at some point in the game, if they're not winning, they're gonna have to have a go at it. Yeah. And that could be a few gaps opening up, and that'll suit people like Gordon and that one, and Miggy on the break. Isaac if he plays. Just depends. I mean, They might get a shock tomorrow night because I think PSG did.
Oh, they
Yeah, I'm just
certainly
wondering
did.
if
They certainly did.
yeah, well, I'm just wondering if we can, like we have done in many games this season, if we can get an early goal in the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, whether that could be game over. You know, I'd like to think it would be, because I think, you know, we don't collapse against teams anymore. And I think if we can get a goal in the first 15, 20 minutes, I think the game's ours. And, you know, I think if we get the 3 points tomorrow, then that's just about going to qualify in one way or another, whether it be for Europa League or put us in a good situation going in the next, still 3 games to go, isn't it? So a positive result tomorrow night will be a great way to continue our European journey.
Because we've got them again in 13 days, haven't we?
Oh, is it that soon?
Yeah, it's Tuesday on the 6:15 kickoff on the Tuesday.
So many games, isn't it? Like, you know, when you're in the Champions League and obviously still in the cup competitions, you know, you get to a point where you feel like it's 2 games every week. I know it's not quite that many, but, you know, no sooner we're talking about one game where, you know, leading up to the next one, and it seems just like days later, you know, obviously we've got into that Premier League game. So it'll be interesting to see the team selection. So, Rob, what about team selection? Do you think, what sort of team do you think we'll put out tomorrow night?
Oh, that's got no idea. I've got
Good
no
answer.
idea.
Anyway, back to you, Len.
Yeah. Basically, I've got no idea. I mean, I think for you, I think the nucleus of the team speaks for itself. There may be 1 or 2 changes, but I think
Miggy will be back in. I think Miggy will come back in for Murphy, which is a shame because Murphy played well the other night.
Yeah, I think that may be a possibility that he'll bring Miggy back in. But the good thing is, we've got the confidence and belief now that, you know, you take a player off, you bring a player on, everyone puts a shift in. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. I think
we haven't got a weak bench now. We haven't, not compared to what we have in the past.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is it's unfortunate if Murphy gets dropped, but Miggy will come in and do superbly. Murphy can come off the bench. I mean, personally, I would stick with the same starting 11. I don't think he will. I think he could make a change in the midfield.
Isak, do you not see Isak coming in?
Possibly, yeah. I can see those are the 2 changes. I can see Isak for Wilson, and I can see obviously Miggy coming in, like we've already said. I think it's a bit harsh to drop anybody after the most recent game, because I think everybody played well. But yeah, he could make 1 or 2 changes, but nothing. As you said, Rob, there's a key 8 or 9 players that are definitely starting tomorrow night.
And we could have a surprise on the bench.
Who are you thinking, Paul? Who are you thinking, yeah?
Well, Willock's trained, hasn't he, for a full week and a half?
I think it's too soon for Willock for me. Like, I think so. But
for the bench.
Yeah.
If Tonali's suspended, Robbie might.
No, that's true.
Apparently he's getting a ban later today.
Well, it's either later today or tomorrow, and I don't know what you've heard, Paul, but I think, you know, you're looking at 10 months seems to be the consensus, but, you know, and that's him out really till the start of next season.
And he's not allowed to train till April. So that's 6 months away from a training ground, which is ridiculous, really.
I agree. I totally agree, but unfortunately, that's the powers that be that make the rules. It's crap, like, but there you go. So, Len, right. Predictions for tomorrow night, then.
Right. Well, I'm going for a narrow.
I like this bit. This is a bit I like. Come on.
Well, you like it because you got it.
No, I just go on. Come on.
Right. I'm gonna go for the conservative 2-1. I'm confident we'll win. I think both teams will score, and I think we'll get the 3 points. So 2-1 to Newcastle United tomorrow night.
Paul?
Rob, come have yours first, please.
I'll give you mine. I'm going to be...
Because he was waiting for mine to say his.
No. I think I'm going to go 1-0 to Newcastle. I think it'll be tight. I do think it'll be tight. And I think we'll, at times, need to ride well luck. I think at times we'll need to defend very well. And if everyone plays the way we all know they can, 1-0.
We'll win the match. We'll win the
1-0,
match.
yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say, 1-0.
I know I could tell by your expression.
Hang on, so you two are agreeing on this?
Look at his face.
He's not happy, is he?
Talk about slapped horse. Look at the face on that man. Dear
I'll
me.
go for 3-1 then.
Well, hang on.
Oh,
Hang on, how can you go from 1-0 to 3-1?
Because he's got 1-0. I can't have what he's got. I'll go 3-1. I can't agree with that, man.
Len,
No,
this is what I've got to put. This is what I've got to put up with, right? 5 days a week.
This is my final answer. 3-1.
3-1.
Final answer.
Do you want goal scorers?
If you want to go goal scorers, fire away.
You're going to get them then.
He'll probably change his mind, you know, if it's the same as mine. But there you go.
No.
I'm going to go Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Isaac. And I'm going to go Miggy. Front three.
Yeah, well, my 2 goals are going to... Isaac's going to score. And I think young Dan Burn might pop up there for a set piece. So Isaac and Dan Burn will score our 2 goals tomorrow night. I'm confident of that.
If Miggy starts, I'll go with Miggy. So, yeah.
Well, anyway, it's 3 good predictions. So, again, similar to going into the previous Premier League game, as long as one of us is right, we'll get the 3 points. That's all that matters.
I mean, when you think about, you know, like, if we win tomorrow night, you know, people will start looking at Newcastle and think, hold on a minute. A couple of weeks back, people were saying, yeah, we'll do well to get to the knockout stages or whatever. But I genuinely think, if we put on a resounding performance tomorrow, get the right result, and other results go our way, you've got to look at Newcastle and think, you know, that in there were one of the favourites to go all the way. Yeah. Well, I know it's a bit premature, but
they've got to be careful, haven't they, Rob? Because if you lose tomorrow, then you've got a tough game in Dortmund.
I know that, but we can achieve whatever. For me, we can achieve whatever we want in this competition. I honestly believe that. I really do.
I must admit, before the season started, my thoughts on the Champions League, you know, was basically, let's just enjoy the ride, enjoy the run, give it our best chance, pick up some points, try and get some points at home because we'll probably not get any away.
I thought the home games are.
Yeah, and then try and qualify. If we don't, we don't. It's just we'll try again next year.
But it's nice to dream, though, Len. It's nice to dream.
Yes,
though.
it is, and I think.
I think if we win tomorrow, then that probably at least guarantees you UEFA, doesn't it? You're not going to finish lower than 3rd with 7 points, really.
Yeah. So as the 3rd goes into Europa League and 4th drops.
Yeah, it drops. It gets nothing.
What do you think? Just very quickly on that. What do you think of that as a rule, Paul?
Well, I don't know. I've never really thought about it, Len.
I just don't think. I don't think it's fair. I haven't said that. It's Newcastle United, so I'm pleased that is a rule. But I think it's unfair on the people in the Europa League because you get these big teams sort of suddenly just drop in at the later stages, and I don't think it's fair. But as I say, because it's Newcastle United, we'll just got to go with it, I suppose. So
it's for 4th. You don't get put in any other cup.
No.
I mean, how far do you want to take it? You know, 4th, you're going into the boat race, the Grand National. How does it work?
I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
The Grand National?
You don't know. You don't know these regulations.
Hold on a minute, yeah. The Grand National, a boat race.
Hey, if it goes, Rob, anything can happen at FIFA, son.
You've got a point there, mate. You've got a point. Yeah, I know where you come from. Yeah, got you. I've got you. Boat race. Yeah, me. Anyway, so right, okay, excellent. So Paul, you enjoying the match tomorrow night? Where are you watching it? Are you just going to watch it in the house then?
Yeah, I'm just watching it. And I've booked the big telly. So you know, I'll just have to tape Coronation Street, I suppose.
Excellent. Right then, guys.
Hang on, what I was going to say is I didn't realise, I just read it before, that PSG never took the full allocation for the last game, but Dortmund have.
3,000 or something at a time.
PSG had sent tickets back. I didn't know that.
All right.
I think they'll make some noise. The crowd's like.
I'll have to watch.
I mean,
right next to I'm
The
right next to their fans with the flares.
the PSG supporters never stopped. They were fantastic until the final whistle, and then it all went silent, which is fair enough. But I think these are a different class. These ones coming over for the match tomorrow. So I think it'll make for an excellent atmosphere.
Oh yes.
They're blocking loads of roads off on in the town. They've had to block a lot of roads off for them coming up or something, like they did with PSG, didn't they? Coming up.
Well, hopefully it's a good night. Hopefully it's one of those European nights that we'll remember for many years.
Well, War Flags
Fingers
put
crossed.
a great display on, apparently. 49,000 flags tomorrow or something they've put out.
Brilliant.
Something like that.
Yeah, excellent.
So it'll be good, like.
Yeah.
Right, lads, when are we doing the match reaction show? Thursday?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
What about midnight tomorrow if we win?
That's all right for you, Paul. That's all right for you, Paul, because you're at the match and you'll be just getting home. Me and Rob, although not together, we'll probably be in bed by 10:30.
Probably.
Paul, listen, right. Lift that cap off, take the battery out and put a new battery in. Put your cap back on, right? Anyway, right.
It's the wrong answer, Rob.
Right. Okay, so we'll do a reaction show on Thursday, and hopefully it's all good news to talk about.
Yeah.
Right, everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And from myself, Paul, and Len, we'll see you on Thursday. Take care, everyone, and good luck Newcastle tomorrow night.
Well, that's soon.
Cheers.
Go up.